Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Sarah Fraser Show. Whether you are watching on YouTube or you are listening everywhere podcasts are played, it is a review show. If you're not familiar, for a long time, while I was preggers, I was doing all kinds of reviews on every show under the sun. TLC's Hot and Heavy, which was an overweight woman dating or married to a thin guy. Welcome to Plathville has a ton of views. And today we're doing another review, The D'Amelio Show. You all know who I'm referencing. You're probably thinking, why the fuck are you watching and reviewing a show with like an 18-year-old and her 16-year-old sister? I'll tell you why. Look, Charli and Dixie D'Amelio are two sisters. Charli became very famous on TikTok for her dancing a couple of years ago. And she is the most followed person on TikTok with something like 162 million followers, okay? Biggest stars arguably right now on the internet. And I'm always fascinated because it usually doesn't work. And I still don't know if it's working or not. But when social media personalities try to go from social media to television, it doesn't work. Why is that? Because most people watching television are like myself, old millennials, and then like even older baby boomers, okay? But, you know, TV isn't going away. So they're trying to bring in stars from all different places. And the D'Amelios are one of them. Hulu is airing the show. It's called The D'Amelios, and it follows this family, Mark, Heidi, the two girls all around. And I'm going to be honest with you. I fully set out. I got very excited. And I'm sure people are like, oh, my God, you bitch. But I got very excited because I thought, okay, The D'Amelio Show, I am prepared. I'm going to totally hate all over this show. I actually don't hate it. That was surprising. Now, is it boring? 100%. Am I going to spare you from, it's good background watching, but I feel like there's so much potential here, okay? So let me set the scene. Let's set the scene for this review. As I mentioned, the D'Amelio Show, it's the four of them. Heidi and Mark are the parents. Now, let me tell you something. First of all, what you're going to find out about this show, it needs to have more. There's so much potential here because Heidi and Mark are hot, all right? Heidi is the mom. She's 49 years old. Honest to God, she looks like she could be 37. I actually thought she was 37. I thought she must have had these kids when she was like 20, right? She looks absolutely amazing. Mark D'Amelio, he's got a little bit of a dad bod, but, I do him. I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy. Here's the problem. We don't get a ton of background. We don't really know anything about their relationship, the parents. I want to know, what's do you two still have sex? These kids are grown. Like, what's going on? You guys swingers? They kind of give off swinger vibes. I'm not going to lie. You never find that out in the show. The show is, I think is a huge sign of how reality shows, with the exception of Housewives, unless the Kardashians are going to reinvent, name a compelling, aside from the Housewives, aside from Southern Charm, name a compelling reality show these days that is a must-see television. I'll wait. Exactly. There aren't any. And unfortunately, the D'Amelios are not the new Kardashians like I was hoping they would be. Now, here's why I don't hate them. I actually feel terrible for them. The whole show is kind of a downer because it follows the two girls. They move from this podunk town in Connecticut. They're in this one-horse town. I think they show a couple of things. They're at a parade where it's like, they're sitting on the tailgate of a Ford truck, F-150, and they're throwing out bubble gum, for God's sakes. They go from that to moving to Los Angeles in this gorgeous house, and they're pursuing everything. Music, Dixie wants to be a singer. And here's my question. Why does everyone who moves to Hollywood, or anyone that gets a reality show, or anyone on the Housewives that gets fame, why do they all want to be singers? Is it just like is it like a marketing thing? Is it like launching a podcast like what I have? Is that why people do it? I'm so lost. I can't think of anything worse that I would want to do, because when you get into singing, there's so much. Like, you have to learn pitch, you have to learn tone, you have to learn notes. Screw that. Give me the auto-tune. And why don't these people ever want to aspire to be like, I don't know, no one ever goes on reality TV and goes, oh, I'm becoming like a doctor. Watch me go and operate on this orange. They never seem to want to have legitimate jobs. I don't know. I guess, is that just entertainment? So they travel from this, podunk town in Connecticut where, Charlie puts up a couple of videos. All of a sudden, she's the most followed person on TikTok. What I was fully prepared to hate is I thought the show would be very fake. I thought it would be manufactured, and they'd try to have them doing all these competitions or stupid things that the Kardashians ended up doing towards the end of their run. In fact, the show is kind of depressing and real. It's depressing in the sense these girls talk about the anxiety and the amount of hate and death wishes that they get nonstop. In fact, to the point that there's a disclaimer, and I'm sure because this is obviously targeted to 18-year-olds who follow them, right? That, they, if you are having mental health issues, you can reach out, all this stuff. My question is, why don't they make this show about these girls going through a mental, toughness boot camp where people just tell them, at one point in one of the episodes, someone predicts Charlie's death on some stupid graph they made online, right? This shit. And then they post it at her. What? How about outing these trolls? I'd love to watch a reality show where they out the trolls like Catfish, and then they go and these people are crying because they're so happy to meet them. How about a show on mental toughness? Who cares? When are we going to get back to the place where you don't give a fuck what people think? Remember how sticks and stones would hurt my bones, but words would never hurt me? Does that exist anymore? I don't give two rips what people say about me. I'm sure you're critiquing my face right now. It's absolutely red and flaking skin. I had a chemical peel. For everyone 18 watching this, you know what? Here's your future in 20 years. I don't give a rip, but they spend a huge majority of the show talking about how they deal with the anxiety. And I feel terrible because these two individuals, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments on the YouTube, okay? They don't seem like they really wanted to be famous. Charlie seems like she started out with a passion for dancing. Dixie doesn't even seem like, maybe I guess she initially wanted to sing, but she was going to just grow up and be a normal teenager, maybe get a job, I don't know, at Uber Eats or something, okay? She doesn't I don't get the vibe she was super ambitious. Then, all of a sudden they pop off, so they're all right, I guess we'll make the best of this and move to LA. There's this whole sense of deer in the headlights when I look at the family. They almost don't seem to know what they're doing. They're surrounded by, at least on the show, all these managers, singing advisors. And by the way, can I just tell you the one scene where Dixie goes to the guy's house who's worked with everyone from Selena Gomez? He's a singing, a song voice coach. He lives in this tiny piddly house in LA. Is that all you make when you coach people? You coach Justin Bieber. You can't live in something bigger? Side note. Anyhow, there's something very sweet and innocent about them. And I feel terrible because they almost are these reluctant stars of they know they have to ride this out, probably because the minute they got 20 million followers, people were look, you guys are gold. Even, if you did nothing else but watch your cat shit in a litter box and film it, you'd be famous. So I get that they had to take advantage of it, but they almost seem like reluctant stars, that they don't know what to do in LA. And at one point they say that they just stay home and watch TV, or they have their friends over and rent a private pool. Probably because they'd be mobbed, if they went out. But it seems like you're in Los Angeles, one of the greatest cities in the world, and they don't even seem like they can go out and explore. The show is so kind of boring, and you feel so bad for them. At times you almost want them to have some drama, something. It's they're trying to create drama, but this family is like all of ours. They're so boring. They get up every morning, they all shit in a bathroom, they get dressed, they eat some Lucky Charms, and then they're looking for something to do. I was actually begging for some drama. They don't have any. They don't really have any rivals. This is where Kris Jenner was queen back in the day when they started. Kim dated all kinds of men. She was at a terrible celebrity boxing match. She was going to a cupcake shop where the frosting was melting and she was trying to make the best of it. They had Dash, where they would boss around those employees at the Dash store. The D'Amelios don't really have any. They go to the MTV, they go to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, where Charlie gets slimed. And it's sort of the grandmother's very proud. Feature the grandmother more. Why don't they just put old people on TV all the time? Because they're the best. They don't know how, they can't be canceled because they can't even see or find the internet to get canceled. It's what I'm looking forward to. Also, Why do these kids, I guess because social media built them, but they continue to look on social media, even crying and breaking down about the social media comments. I like these girls so much. They seem super sweet. I know they got into a bit of controversy a while ago when they sort of were like telling the chef, their personal chef, like they didn't like something. And then, they got like backlash for being spoiled or ungrateful. I hope we see that, because that would be like the most interesting thing. You can tell like they're trying to get comfortable in this new role, but it's almost uncomfortable, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I want the parents, I want drama from the parents. Like, do the parents like LA? You lived in Norwalk, Connecticut, next to the highway in a mall. And now you're in LA with all these big other TikTok stars. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What are these other TikTok stars' parents like? Are they competitive? So, Mark D'Amelio is the head of the family. He was a politician, ran for the Senate in Connecticut as a Republican, apparently lost, then sued the Norwalk Police Department because he alleged that they released some things about him getting arrested for a DUI when Charlie was like 9 years old. They said it wasn't true. Fascinating. Do they get a bunch of backlash all the time because he's a Republican? I don't care what you are. Are you like a good person? But I mean, I have to imagine when that came out, did she get a bunch of backlash? They talk a little bit about their relationships, but, they're still really young. Like, Charlie's 16 years old. So it's not like Kim. Like, it's not like she can pose for Playboy. I mean, anyway, it's sort of this social experiment, but I had some other notes. And like I said, I really enjoyed them. I actually feel like I feel for them because unlike many people who move to Hollywood or put themselves on the internet desperately like myself, they're trying to get famous and they do not care what people say about them, but not the D'Amelios. They almost seem like these reluctant stars trying to make it, now trying to have friends and navigate people not wanting you to be successful. And that's the thing. Can we normalize that? Like, I wish they would have a coach on the show about psychology, which is people root for you until you become successful, and then they want to tear you down. They want to see you be all the way at the bottom and rebuild. It's society in America for some reason. Okay, the mental health PSA, was good, I guess. Obviously, it goes for younger people. We don't really know yet the ratings. I'm very curious to see if it translates. Like I said, I wanted to see them ignoring the trolls more. They both deal a lot with anxiety. So, it's fine, but I guess you just feel like I wish they were doing something else. And by far, Heidi and Mark seem like the most interesting people, and the grandmother, Now, maybe because I'm closer to age with them than Charlie and Dixie. I like Dixie. And I think too, like, wouldn't it be fascinating to like have, they ought to be hosting some backyard celebrity or TikTok roast. Get BFF podcast there with Josh Richard and, Dave Portnoy in the backyard and do some, I don't know, throw pizza at Dave Portnoy's dick. Like, that'd be an episode, I guess maybe they couldn't do that because they're 16. But when they turn 18, we almost need a countdown like people had back in the day when the Olsens turned 18. Like, so we can punch up the show. I'm a fan. I love the parents. I want to see more of the parents. I feel like I could hang out with Heidi, and Mark too. I thought they were super fun. They obviously seem very loving, very supportive. The girls, I feel awful. My God, someone help them with their anxiety. Get a therapist on every episode and let's talk. Now, can I imagine what it must be like to have 130 million people follow me and then half of them predicting my death? No. But at the same time, those people just want to be you. So I guess I don't understand why they're still watching the comments. Overall, I'd give this show a C+. I think it has the potential to be an A+. I just feel like they need more characters. They either need crazy ass friends. They need to get older before. I think they should have waited till everybody was 18 because then they could do a lot more. It's very wholesome. I would say that. If you're over the age of 25, it's a C for you. If you're under the age of 25, it's probably like a B-. It's easy passive watching. You end up wanting to root for them. They both seem sweet. They both seem genuine. They seem confused about where to go next with fame, and they're sort of riding out what they can. So there you go. If you're looking for a new reality show and you were thinking this would replace the Kardashians, unfortunately, it won't. But if you're thinking, hey, I actually want to see good people that I root for that are genuine, by all means, get on board. I loved it. It's the D'Amelio Show. You can watch it on Hulu. They're releasing new episodes every week. I think they already have 6 episodes out. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. Are you watching the D'Amelio Show? Many of you on here probably have girls, daughters, sons, 13, 14. Be good for them. Very, very age appropriate. Are you watching it? What do you think overall? Do you feel bad for the family, or you think they are actually more orchestrated in fame? All right. Love you all. You can always hit me up and follow me on Instagram. It's at the Sarah Fraser Show. Bye, everybody.